Episode 70 of the Marketing Life podcast. This is Taylor Timothy, your host. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about creating a conversation, then building a relationship, and then selling them. So, what do I mean by this? This is kind of the online marketing process and the truth behind it all, and let's dive in. So the first thing I want to talk about is creating a conversation. So what do I mean by creating a conversation? A lot of times the ads that we create or the content we create, it needs to create some sort of conversation. That's why people are on Facebook. That's why people are on YouTube. They want to have a conversation with people. They want to banter even against each other, or what they liked about the video, what they didn't like. Everyone wants to be heard. So when you're out there creating content, think about things that are actually going to create conversation. And technically, these types of videos that you're creating, this is a lot of times what you're using to target cold traffic or new audiences. So your cold traffic and things like that needs to be things that's going to help create conversation. The second thing I want to talk about is building relationships. So talking about content that actually creates and builds relationships. So what types of pieces of content are going to do that? Well, one, you're going to be very authentic inside of your videos or your podcast or whatever you're using to push your content. That is going to help build a relationship as well. Another thing that's going to help build relationships, the thing I always preach in this stinking podcast, is lead magnets or tools that are going to help people fix their problems. So building a relationships, a lot of times it's not about charging them right then. So things that are going to build relationships is things that are going to build value. So creating free content is definitely going to go out there and help build relationships. A lot of times you can use remarketing ads here as well for building relationships. You can retarget to people and ask them to download your checklist, join your mailing list. Those different things they're going to get in your CRM. Again, that's going to help build the relationship. The other thing you have to remember with building relationships isn't a one and done thing. So if you want to build a relationship with your friend, you're not going to hang out with them one time and never talk to them again. So going back to that is creating content all the time. That's going to be sending them a weekly email or a bi-weekly email, whatever works for you. But building relationships is a constant contact with people. So think about that, guys. When you're creating your content, is it going to help build relationships? Is it going to help maintain that contact with people? The third thing I want to talk about is then selling them. So a lot of times people do this backwards. They try and sell them, and then they try and create a conversation, and then they try and build the relationship. But the truth be told is it's create conversation with somebody, then you build the relationship, and then you actually sell them. So in the selling process, obviously this is a later touch. At some point you are creating that final conversation and actually selling them your products or service. So what's funny, guys, is you can compare this to dating. So the first time you talk to somebody, you're going to create a conversation and the gender or person you're interested in. Then you're going to build a relationship. You're going to go on a date with them, actually a couple dates and multiple dates and multiple dates and multiple dates. And then finally at some point you get married, right? So the selling point, and when you sell them, is the actual marriage. So think about that, guys, when you're creating your campaigns. Are you first creating a conversation with people? Are you then building a relationship and rapport with them? And then third and final, are you actually selling them? So when you sell them, obviously you have to be very upfront and smart with your call to actions and different things like that, and just show, and it's going to be such an easier sell at that point. So guys, that's going to recap episode 70 here. 1, create conversation. 2, build relationships. 3, sell them. And that's episode 70, guys. Creating conversations, building relationships, and selling them. Thanks, guys, for listening to episode 70 of the Marketing Life podcast. Guys, all I can say is The better you build relationships, the easier and the more you'll be able to scale your business. If you guys need help implementing processes such as Facebook ads, YouTube ads, actually building a solid funnel that actually produces scheduled calls, then go over and check out my online marketing master course. They'll teach you guys all this stuff from start to finish. It's a 30-day money-back guarantee. You get 3 hours with me. We can sit and chat, and I can help solve all of your problems, hopefully. And that's going to wrap up, guys, episode 70. Thanks, guys, for listening, and peace.